A lot of people. This is great. Seven now.
Okay, are you ready, Mr. Solms?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to call this public hearing to Roxanne, would you please read the call of the meeting, of the public hearing?
The Ledgertown Council will conduct a virtual public hearing at 7 p.m. on Monday, June the 1st, 2020, to receive comments regarding a proposed fiscal year 2021 budget. At this hearing, interested persons may submit written communications to the Town Council at towncouncil@ledgerct.org. Please join the meeting from your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Copies of the proposed budget and remote meeting participation information will be provided on the town's website at www.ledgerct.org. For the Ledgertown Council, Linda C. Davis, Chairman.
Thank you, Roxanne. At this time, I would ask Councillor Solms, who is the Chairman of Finance for the Ledgertown Council, to make the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman Davis. And joining me is also Finance Chair of the Board of Education, Mike Bronner, and he and I will be going through the presentation this evening. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we'll get started. So tonight we're presenting for the public hearing a fiscal 2021 budget of $60,135,758, which represents a 0.14% over the prior year. And the general government budget is made up of $26,946,338, which is a 2.01% decrease. Some of the highlights of that budget are that the mayor, when he received the department request, reduced the total department request by $230,970. The council also further reduced it during our series of meetings by another $427,180. And I want to be very clear that some of those reductions were actually based on new information that we received based on healthcare costs, which actually were projected to decline. So we made a total reduction of $658,150. And with that, I'm going to turn the next section over to Finance Chair Bronner of the Board of Ed.
Thank you, Mr. Solms. So for the Board of Education, our proposed budget for the 2020-2021 fiscal year is $33,189,420. That's an increase of 1.97%. That's unchanged from our submitted budget to the town after it was approved by the Board of Education. A couple key points is that increase reflects all our contractual obligations across the whole school district. It does reflect savings from an estimated 5 teacher retirements. We've also, as part of the issues experienced within the town, within our school districts with students, we're adding 2 full-time math interventionists. We're also adding 1 full-time equivalent health teacher at the middle school. Now that the middle school is 3 grades, vice 2, there's additional staff needed there. We're adding 1 full-time equivalent special education teacher at the high school. For high needs programs at Gallup Hill. Again, Gallup Hill picked up quite a few new students. We need to make sure we're supporting those students properly. We also changed from a part-time English language tutor to a full-time equivalent head, again, to reflect the school district composition and make sure we're supporting all our students. And we added a literacy paraprofessional at Gales Ferry School, again, to make sure we're properly supporting all our students. And then we did move some paraprofessionals around to reflect the realignments within the 2 schools now that we have Ledyard Center is closed. I did want to add, As part of our budget, just to keep in mind, we've had a few generic questions come in. The approach here, as far as for the fall school year, where this budget actually starts to really provide the benefits as we start the kids back in school. Our plans forward are based on guidance from the Connecticut Association of Boards of Ed, or CABE, and discussion with other districts. So we're trying to plan smartly for what might come in the fall. We don't know. We're waiting on state and waiting basically for the state, the governor, and the Commissioner of Education to provide updated guidance. And then we'll move out accordingly as we know more. But this budget's based on what we knew at the time we submitted it, and it does support all the identified needs for the school district.
Thank you, Mr. Bronner. So those two budgets combined bring our total increase to a 0.14% and a mill rate of 34.97, which is actually a 0.09 mill decrease. I'll move on to the next slide.
Excuse me, Mr. Soms. Roxanne, could you make sure that everybody is muted except for those people speaking? Because there is a fair amount of background noise, things like televisions, etc. And I can see when that noise is happening on the screen below. You can see who it's coming from.
Right now, everybody muted.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we also have a capital improvement plan. This is where we set money aside each year and spend money on capital projects as needed. And we have a total decrease in the capital improvement plan for this year by $2.7 million. A large part of that is due to the fact that the high school track and field is behind us. That was an investment we made last year, so that's no longer in the capital plan. So on the general government side, we increased road restoration, and although the department head requested $1,015,000 to maintain parity, we're expecting to see a continued slight decline in road ratings. But we are investing more in road restoration this year for a total of $950,000. And moving over to the Board of Ed, I'll turn it back to Chairman Bronner. Mike, you might be muted.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah,
I entered high school, it auto timed me out. So our major projects are at the high school. We continue to renovate the bathrooms at the high school. Again, they were long overdue. So our capital plan reflected those investments. And again, we have $150,000 planned for the next series of bathroom renovations. And then we have quite a few classrooms that need modernizing, updates, and repair. And again, the classroom update line item was $157,000.
Thank you. Moving on to the next page, I wanted to just show some of the things that the town has been at work on last year. Ledyard Tenor School has been sold, and for those who've driven by it, you may have noticed that the construction is in process, and I congratulate the mayor again for that sale. Middle school expansion is both Ledyard Tenor and Gallup Hill consolidated, and those schools opened on time in the fall within budget. Also, the Ledyard High School track and multi-use field project is nearing completion. If anyone's driven by the high school, they've seen the giant mounds of dirt and the heavy equipment. That will give us a much needed high school field that we can use for multiple sports in addition to football. Further, the original topsoil from that field, because it's being converted to artificial turf, we set aside the topsoil at the town transfer station and moved some of it from the transfer station back to the Ledyard Town Green, reseeded it. If you've seen that, it's perfectly level and a brilliant green with new grass, and we're hoping that we see great turf growing there in future years. In the lower town green, you may notice that there are some new parking areas, and those were completed with reclaimed millings from road resurfacing projects this spring. Public Works also removed some unsightly power poles, and all of the power is going underground. And nearly all of this work was completed by the Public Works Department employees. And I understand they're very proud of that work, and I think they should be. So those are the major capital projects we've undertaken this year. So again, a net tax decrease of 0.09 mils. So as proposed, for every $100,000 in assessed value of your home, your property taxes will go down by $9. And we might have covered this at the beginning for those who aren't aware that we changed the process this year. Everyone knows that meetings are being held in public. So a large meeting like a public hearing could not be held in the high school auditorium. And also, my governor's order will not be having vote at the polls or referendum vote. So the town council will accept comments in writing by email from the public. And all of those comments will be reviewed by the town council finance committee at our meeting this coming Wednesday, which is the day after tomorrow. And then the finance committee will refer a final budget to the town council for a town council vote on June 10th. And if the town council passes the budget, then it will go into effect. I want to thank everyone for attending tonight's public hearing. Back to you, Chairman Davis.
Yes, we did not receive any public comments. We did not receive any emails or letters. I can open it up for public comments if this goes well. But again, we did ask for everything in writing in advance, but let's give it a try. If you would like to waive, if you have something to say, we'll be happy to entertain a comment or two. No one? Okay. With that, before I entertain, yes. Before I entertain a motion to adjourn, I wanted to make sure I invited everybody to the opening of the farmers market on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. We hope to see lots of folks there. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Kevin Dombrowski.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. This meeting is adjourned without exception. Thank you, everybody. Everybody wave.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good, everyone.
Good evening. Good night, Mayor.
Good night. Well done, everybody.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.